Greetings, love. It's your empowerment coach, Nyamka, and I just wanted to stop in to say happy 2020, happy new year, and just to share with you some universal truths that I have learned that I want to share with you. As we went into 2020, everyone kept speaking about what you needed to leave behind in the decade, what you needed to leave behind in the year. But I'm here to tell you that some things you need to bring with you, you need to take with you, right? It's not everything. We are learning, we are growing, we are building. So as we learn and grow and build, we need to take those things with us. We need to set a good, strong foundation. We need to continue to ensure that our foundation is strong so that it can withstand whatever 2020 brings, so that it can withstand whatever the new year brings, so that it can withstand whatever, right? It's not about always throwing away, but it's about building up. And as your empowerment coach, I always speak about that. I always speak about how we can build each other, what we can do to build each other, and how to sustain that. So I'm going to share with you what I found through my own lived experiences, especially in 2019. 5 universal truths that I learned hard, that I learned for myself, not just from reading or from coaching, but through my own lived experiences. And the first one is never say never. Never say never. And I say that because in 2019, I did so many new things that I never thought that I would do. I did things that I always said, I would never do this, I would never do that. Oftentimes when we say never, we think that it's coming from a good place. It's sometimes we use it as a moral compass, right? I will never do this, I will never do that. And we think that we're higher than others. We think that we're self-proclaimed mighty because we never do this or we'll never do that. But oftentimes, always, never is a word that is limiting. So I ask you to try not to say never, try to use it in a different way. All right, so think about the positive spin of it. So if you would say, I will never harm my children, instead of saying something, I will never harm my children, you would say something like, I will always be here to support my children. You see what I'm saying? Try not to say never. It's just limiting, and I know this because I've lived it. And in speaking with people and doing my coaching, I know how limiting it is. We think that we're doing ourselves a favor. We think that we're setting things straight by saying never. Try not to say it. Do not limit yourself with the word never. And think about it in situations in the family, in the household. When your kids hear you saying it all the time, sometimes we grew up, our parents say, I would never do this, I would never do that. Those types of thoughts, those types of limiting things affect our children. They affect how they think. They too start to use the word never. I will never do this, never do that, never say this, never go here, never try this. For 2020 and beyond, try not to limit yourself. Always think outside of the box and always think that there is a possibility, a strong possibility for anything to happen. And by saying you never will, you limit your own self. The second one is be humble. I mean, it's so easy as that. As we learn and as we grow and as we build, we get new knowledge, new information, we learn a lot. Be humble. I don't care how much you know. I don't care what you know. I don't care who you know. Whatever it is that you know, whatever you think that you know how smart you are, you may be a scientist, you may be the best in your career, you may be at the top of your field. Be humble. It behooves all of us to be humble because there's always someone who is prettier than us, better than us, smarter than us. And even there, if there isn't, even if you are the best of the best, the top of the top, the smartest of the smarts, you need to remember that you started somewhere. You had to get where you are by probably working hard, by asking questions, by putting in the work, but you got there. You didn't start where you are. You got there somewhere. So be humble. Humble yourself. Be open to other people. Be open to teaching. And it goes to my third universal fact. You don't know everything, so never stop learning. Try to learn as much as you can. When you stop saying never and stop limiting yourself, when you start to humble yourself, and then the third thing, when you realize that you need to keep learning, that you don't know everything, that opens up so many different doors for you. Never stop learning. As we go into 2020, people are saying things like the career tech fields are changing, right? We have all the big boxes that are closing down. We have the Macy's, the Kmart's are already closed. The Paylesses are closing. We have all these things, and people are saying, what's going to happen with the jobs? What's going to happen with this? Well, let me tell you what happened. There's nothing new under the sun. So instead of people working at Macy's and instead of people working at Kmart and wherever else, jobs have just changed. There are more people in the tech industry now than ever before. There's artificial intelligence. There's robotics. We're soon going to have drones dropping our deliveries to our doorsteps. Nothing changes, right? So you have to open up yourself to learn. If you find yourself that you are in a career that's going to be soon extinct or that's going to be changing, what can you learn? How can you grow? Open your mind so that you can continue to learn and continue to grow. And you're not too old. You're never too old. Trust me. This year I went through a change where I myself did something new that I thought that I would never do. I had to learn a whole new field all over again. When I thought that I knew a lot, I realized that, hey, I didn't know a lot. And I had to learn from people who are younger than me, less experienced than me per se, more experienced in the field that they were in. But I had to humble myself, but I had to open my mind and realize that you don't know everything. And I know I don't know everything. But being in situations where I absolutely knew nothing, and had to relearn everything and depend on other people to teach me, it was definitely humbling. So never say never. Be humble. Open yourself to always, continually, perpetually learning. Ask for help. Ask for help. We can't do anything by ourselves. I see people trying to start new businesses. I see people trying to do new things. Ask for help. If you don't know how to do something, there's never a stupid question. Ask someone who's been there. Ask someone who's done that. Try to get a mentor. Try to get someone who can help you out. If you don't have an official mentor, if you don't have an official sponsor in the workplace, in your career, you're watching me via the internet, you can Google, you can find out. Ask questions so that you can learn what you need to learn. All right. And the last one is, no matter how humble you are, no matter how much you open yourself, no matter what, you got to put in the work. All right. You have to work hard, especially nowadays, right? Where things are so competitive in every aspect of our lives. Things are just so competitive. So you have to put in that work. You have to be dedicated to whatever you're doing, whether it's in a relationship, you got to put in a work, whether it's in a career, you got to put in a work, in your home life, in your family life. Be prepared to put in the work. You're not going to reap the benefits if you don't put in the work first. Be prepared to go hard for whatever it is. But if there's one thing that you learn from my message today, one thing, never say never. Never is a limited word. And when you said, I will never do this, I would never say this, I would never, you, my friend, are limiting yourself. Do not limit yourself. 2020 is yours. 2021 is yours. I mean, we have so many more years ahead of us. Don't just think about right now. Think about the future and know that the world is yours. Time, and we've spoken about time, right? Time seems like it's infinite. For us, it seems like it's limited, but it is infinite. Put in the work hard right now. Be humble, ask questions, learn as much as you want to learn, but never, ever limit yourself by saying, I will never. You know that the world is yours, and go ahead, conquer. I love you. This is Nyamka, your empowerment coach. Thank you for hanging out with me. Tell me what you think about this video, and ask yourself, if you think you could probably work with some of the things I spoke about. If you don't agree, that's fine. Let me know that too. But I love you. I want to help you, and never say never. Bye.